Audio Assault makes some killer plugins for not a lot of money. So you can imagine my dismay when they took my absolute favorite, Sigma, off of retail. Well, Sigma's back. Sort of. This is Hails and Fails. Hello heathens, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I am JD Blute, Evil Unicorn is running around here somewhere. This is Hails and Fails. What is Hails and Fails? It's my take on gear and plugin and whatever else I can get my hands on review. We talk about the hails, which are the goods, and the fails, which are the bads, of what I perceive to be the thing that we're reviewing today. Before I get too far ahead, if you do want to show some support, I would really appreciate a subscribe, a like, and a comment. You hear it all before, but it really means something to those of us just starting out on our YouTube journey and just starting out on our guitarical journey as well. Yes, guitarical is a word. Look at the f up. I mentioned before that Sigma is my favorite plugin from Audio Assault. I'll throw a picture of it up right over here. I never demoed it or reviewed it because even though it's my favorite from Audio Assault, I don't know how well it stacks up. Apparently, it is Audio Assault's version of the Granofire by Omega Ampworks. That didn't make sense to me. I thought it was something else, the first iteration, but I got a surprising email about a month ago from Audio Assault saying, hey, your upgrade for Sigma V2 is ready for download. I'm on their newsletter. They didn't once let anybody know that this was dropping, so you can kind of see why I was really happy to check it out. It's my favorite plugin, and they've made it better. Should specify it's my favorite plugin from Audio Assault. You'll see why when we get in a little bit later. Without further ado, I bring to you the Sigma V2. All right, what we are looking at is my Reaper instance with both the mic and the guitar setup, and this is Sigma V2. Let me put up that comparison image of Sigma V1 just again, just so you can see the first hail I'm going to give is for visual improvement. Holy shit, does this look better than the first iteration. It's cleaner. I like the fact that you can tell we've got an amp and a cab, which comes into effect a little bit later on. And of course it comes preset. It actually comes preset when you download it and open it to the Crunch channel with everything at midnight, which sounds a little something like this. Not anything special, but not anything too bad, I would say. If we dive deeper, though, we're going to take a look at all of the categories up here. That's the wrong word, isn't it? But anyway, we're going with it. So the first thing you see is the Stompbox. It comes with a gate, a boost, and a drive. Pretty straightforward. I don't know which pedals these are modeled after. They kind of look a little bit like Fortin, but I'm, again, not a billion% sure. Please don't hold me to that. If I find out, I will let you know. The gate is a simple one knob. Anything for my preset is anything under 80. And for the Crunch channel, that's not too bad. For the lead channel, which you hear a little bit later, I would turn it up a little bit. Overall, simplicity. You can't add or take away any of these pedals. On some of the other Audio Assault plugins, you can modularize them and add in whatever it is you're looking for. This, not so much. They actually separated the effects, which we'll get to later. If we just put everything on the Crunch channel, again, with the amp at midnight, nothing going on, we get, I'll put it back onto my treble pickup. Honestly, pretty decent, crunchy sound. I am not doing any processing, by the way. This is straight into Reaper, this GTR channel. There are no other effects. It's literally just the Sigma. That's all we're doing today. So you were hearing the direct raw tone from guitar to Focusrite to Reaper to your ears, plus the YouTube compression. But anyway, if we back away from these, I just want the amp to shine. The boost and the drive they do what they're intended to do, and we'll make a little bit of a sound a little bit later on. The amp, again, looks beautiful. I have never seen a Granifier in person, so my understanding could be wrong, but apparently this is Audio Assault's take on the Omega Ampworks Granifier. It does have a clean channel, which I actually really like. I know I've said before on the channel that I don't really care for a clean channel, but every once in a while you need a little something to bring the mood down, to calm the song down, whatever. And the clean channel sounds like this. Once again, really, really like the clean channel, more than I thought I would, to be brutally honest. Let's take a look at the cab for now before we go messing with any knobs. The dual cab loader is based on Audio Assault's own AIR, A-I-R loader. It's basically the same interface. It has a few less features than the AIR does for obvious reasons. Namely, you can't export your own IRs, which you can do in AIR. I should probably demo that. It's fucking amazing. So you start on this screen and you have a bunch of preset cabs already built in. You can choose to mix and match with the A/B, change the level, etc., high pass, low pass, all the stuff that you would expect in a cab IR loader. It handles the loading of the IRs flawlessly, as you would expect a company who also develops an IR loader to do. For the sake of argument, we're just going to leave it on the Sigma 4x12, which is this one right here. You can see it's loaded again. That's how it starts. We're not going to do too much of a tone change because we're reviewing this, not anything else. Then over here we have an effects rack, which I really enjoy. I have not messed around with it. We should probably get around to doing that. I'm also terrible with EQ, but you get a nice graphic EQ, a delay, and a reverb. You don't need anything more in a lead amp. So I really like that these are included. I am a huge fan of how stupidly easy this is laid out. I love that I can see, oh look, it's a graphic EQ. Here are my frequencies. It's a delay. Here's what all the buttons do. I don't have to look. I don't have to think. It's not mislabeled or labeled with some proprietary bullshit. It's literally just, here's what the button does. Turn it where you want it. Fantastic. Hail for simplicity on the FX rack. So let's jump in. We've checked clean tone. We've checked the crunch tone. It's only fair we give the lead channel a turn. Once again, everything at midnight. Nothing else on. You can get a little bit of the hiss. So we'll turn something like, ooh, 69. Perfect. Stellar number. We're just going to turn the gate up. Once again, no other processing. And excuse the pentatonic bullshit that's about to happen. I don't hate it. I would actually probably throw a delay on top of that. Maybe a little reverb, although I'm more of a sucker for delay when it comes to lead tones. But already, without having messed with any of the knobs, I like where we're going. So huge hail for out of the box. Here's what's what. Here's how our amp works. It's going to kick you in the face. We're done with the clean channel for now. Feel free to mess around with it if you do choose to pick this up. Clean tones don't interest me much, like we all know. Let's make a tone. The first fail I have is that you can see the three lines here, and they're actually universal. That took me a second to figure out, so I'm going to give that a fail for confusion to the consumer. Maybe it's a me problem, but I would like things to be labeled, you know, this is channel 1, this is channel 2. No, this is your general 2-band EQ with a gain setting. This is your 3-band EQ with a presence, and the master resonance and focus. Focus is an interesting one, but I was actually most disappointed with the master knob, and we'll get to it. My particular sound comes from a place, we're not going to touch these too much. We'll leave these at midnight here, the low, the high, and the gain, just because while they do affect the tone, they're not something I personally would mess around with anyway. So we'll leave them as it is. I might mess with the gain. You all know that's a lie, but low, for purposes of this, low and the high will stay in place. Gain, we'll see what we come up with. So my bass, I usually go to about a 6. Mids, I back off a little bit. So let's go to a 4. Also, one thing, you can spend your time doing that, or you can actually type, which I really, really appreciate. That's not always the case, especially in some of Audio Assault's older stuff. So I really appreciate that if I just literally, I actually don't want to dial in, I want to type in and get to playing, I can. Really appreciate that, Audio Assault. Thank you. So again, treble, I'm going to go for a 7. It's a little bit higher than I normally go. And you'll see one of the graphical things, like that's a 6, that's a 7, not a fail, just a little humorous. Presence we'll mess around with. And what I like to do on anything, especially now that I know what it does, is we are going to put a drive on. We might put the boost on, we'll put the drive. I really just want to get the level, back off the tone, and bump up the drive. So this is going to be like a high gain chug rhythm, roughly EQ'd how I normally do. So once again, we've got no effects. We've got the stock cab. We've got our amp messed with a little bit in terms of EQ settings, and we get this. You probably heard that because I know I did. We should back off on the drive a little. We're not really here to create a tone, but I just want to see, I want you to see what the extremes were, and now let's see something a little bit more modular. That is a tone I could actually live with. Probably mess around with the gate a little bit. Maybe add a little bit of effects and whatnot. But that's a tone I could live with. So we've spent 5 minutes on that, and it's sounding pretty great already. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but I do have to give a fail to, I want to say it was the master knob. If you turn it up, do you hear that? You heard that, right? At 8, it's actually louder than 9 or 10. This is something that I have found is a little bit of a bug in all of Audio Assault's software. So I'm not sure where the disconnect is between getting the tactile feeling, as it were, in a plugin, or whatever is going on, but a lot of Audio Assault suffers for that. So I do have to give a fail because 10 is not louder than 8. Just simple math. Sorry. I do love you guys, Audio Assault. So how does our tone sound on the lead channel? And let's throw something at it. You know what? Let's just stock delay, stock reverb. Our tone, stock delay, stock reverb. Let's lead it up. Don't need to adjust the gate, thankfully. That's pretty good. And again, excuse the pentatonic half-acidness. Okay, so maybe I wouldn't leave it at stock because that was a little bit hard to sit through. Not only for my playing. Either way, I got a really good sense that when you fine tune them, you'd actually have a little bit of quality. Again, I'm not the best at working with them. I just wanted you to hear what it's capable of in the basic position, and you can fine tune as you like. Overall, I do have to say that this is a major upgrade over Sigma V1. I really do believe that with all of my soul. It's better looking, it's more intuitive, I understand what everything is, and I do generally feel like you're getting your money's worth. At the time of this recording, I honestly don't know if this is back up on the Audio Assault website. I should have checked before I started recording. That said, Sigma V1 was $16 US. For $16, you get a very, very reasonable facsimile of a great amp. Would I put it in mix? I would if I didn't have anything else. And I have when I didn't have anything else. When you're talking about a granifier and you're talking about a simulation, obviously the Neural DSP one is going to win head to head. And I may do a shootout of them if I can figure out how to make that work on my computer. But if you are just starting out, if you're bedroom producing, if you don't have the cash, it's been a rough year for absolutely everybody. $16, if this is available, is a fantastic deal. So on that reason alone, my recommendation is give it a try. It does get an overall hail from me. Not sponsored, but seriously, thank you to Audio Assault for looking after people who want to make great tone, who want something a little bit more than what's available at the free level, but still don't want to pay the premium price. This is a great plugin at a non-premium price. I have been JD Blute. Evil Unicorn is running around here somewhere. You probably saw him somewhere in the duration of this video. Please, once again, do me a solid. Follow me on all the social medias. I stream on Twitch whenever I can at JD Blute. I am literally everywhere as JD Blute. And as we always say, be safe, be consensual. And if you can't be good, well then, sweet Satan on a pogo stick, be good at it. Bye.